go of everything.
Welcome, Gabbanites and I beckon you to join my world. Today we will be joined by Kyle Blitzstein, which is Cupcake, which is Blasting Cape 833. Hey, it's Mia, Clyde Duck 001, Creeper the Real, and Gabby Girl 199, which is me and my dog, which is behind me. Okay, so today we will be having a Minecraft slumber party. So who is looking forward to it? We can see that. Yes, we all look like we all look like we're sitting in a coffin. What's with the invisibility potion? Now Mia will start with the scary stories.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Hello, hear me? Well, if it's mic, well, you know.
Yeah, we can hear you. You gonna tell the scary stories?
This is a short, scary story, alright?
Alright.
So, hold up, I gotta get up close and personal. So, one night, I woke up in the middle of the night. So my wife cradling our child. I don't know what's scarier. Being my wife cradling our dead child, or that somebody came to our house to put him there.
Okay. It seems like something off of YouTube. So, who's ready for this story? It was a dark and stormy night, much like tonight. Not like I just changed the weather to rainy or whatever.
Yeah.
But there was a family that was going to go on vacation to a relative's house somewhere in South America. Now, this family, they hadn't seen these members in a long time. The family's mom, she had recently turned 100, and so they were going to the house, the daughter's daughter, and the daughter's daughter's daughter with her husband and children. Now, this family, they didn't know where they exactly lived, but they had a general idea of where the village was located. As they went to South America, they got the plane tickets. Now, there were some odd things about the plane ticket and all. The location that they were going to, nobody seemed to have ever heard of the location. Everybody would say, "I've never heard of that village. Where is that village located?" The grandmother was like, "I was there when I was a child. I grew up there." Now, as they went and as they started getting closer to the village, the grandmother would remember key things to finding the village. As they got close to the mountain pass that they had to climb to go to the village, there was a sign that was kind of worn, but it said the name of the village. As seeing as how I don't speak Spanish, I can't recall what the sign said, but they were like, "That's the village." Now, the sign was so worn out that it was barely legible. As they climbed the path to going to the village, they saw people there, but they didn't seem to be dressed more modern. They all seemed to be dressed as if they were from an era that was way before the time that they were supposed to be. Now, the thing is they recalled this on their way back as they were telling people their experiences. There was this weird smell as they were climbing up. It smelled kind of like a musty, moldy cheese. Now, there was a festival going on because the great-grandmother's birthday coincided with the festival that year. As they got to the house seemed to be in great shape, but something seemed off. Yes, there were walls, but there were no windows, no doors on any of the houses. And all the people seemed very friendly, but distant at the same time. As the people go and they were celebrating, they never seemed to have felt any full with each dish that they tried.
For too long I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. Too long I've been starving to death and haven't died. I feel nothing. Not the wind on my face, nor the spray of the sea, nor the warmth of a woman's flesh. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
As they went to settle down for the night, they were recalling why it seemed so weird that nobody seemed to have had any calendars or anything like that. As they slept, all they could think of was, why does it feel off? Why does this village seem so different, so strange? Now, as they woke up, the mother of the children realized that her children were gone. So she went to go find her husband. Her mom said that her husband had gone off to look for the children already, but didn't want to alarm her because she didn't want her to freak out over the vacation. Now, as she went out to look for her husband and her children, the village seemed completely empty. As they go, and as she went and looked, she couldn't see any signs that there were any celebrations, nor people, nor any evidence that anybody was there at all. In fact, the moment she stepped out of the house, she realized that the village wasn't even there in the first place. Her husband, her children were gone, and all she could recall was she needed to get back to her mom and her grandmother, and they needed to get out as fast as they could. But the moment she walked back, she realized that it was too late. They were all gone. And as she went down the path to get out of that village that was no longer there, she saw a trail of blood. It had just been poured down the road and was running down. She started getting scared. She started running faster. So she fell. And when she fell on something soft and warm. It was wet, too. She pushed her hands up and realized it was the body of her mother laying there in a pool of her own blood. She screamed and got up and started running more. She tried not to look back, but something was like calling her to look back. So she took a glance back and saw a shadow. It scared her even more, and she ran faster. She got to the bottom of the mountain, and there was a car driving. They stopped and asked her if she needed help. She said that she had lost her whole family, that they were murdered on the mountainside, and that she needed a ride back to town. And they said that they would give her a ride back. So they gave her a ride back. As they got to the bottom of the mountain village, the next town over, she got her bearings back, and she had realized that nothing was going to be the same. And as she was heading back to America, she felt like something was off, but she couldn't remember what. The fact is, she had forgotten all about her family until she had told her story. And to this day, she doesn't recall their names, nor how they died.